Okay, so some of the viewers actually wanted to know, since we have these two EG4 3000 watt off-grid inverters connected in parallel, and we were able to start up and run our 3.5 ton heat pump to air condition the upstairs, wanted to know if you could use just one battery and see if that would start it up. We're going to try and start it up without any solar on. So we have our solar turned off and we have our inverters turned on, and we're going to set our, go back to make sure we got the right thermostat upstairs and it's on. So we're going to turn that on. And right now we are at 110. Oh, there we go. It faulted. So it couldn't start it up with just one battery. So let's take and turn those off and reset everything. Okay. Turn these back on. Turn those back on. Got the inverters off so we can turn our solar on. And see, this is one of the problems I had with the grow watts. There wasn't enough in one battery to be able to start. You needed at least two batteries in parallel. So, okay, we got these connected. Let's see if we got our solar coming in. Oops. Okay, we got 1.65 kilowatt coming in here. And all right, let's see, where is our input on this one? It's only showing, oh, because it's fully charged. So it's showing, let's go to our load, set that back up on our load. There we go for load, nope. Yeah, we'll put it on battery amps to see how many amps we draw, if we can start it up with one. And then this one over here, we will put how many watts we need, or we will be using. So the load there's on the watts. So let's give it a try. And it's probably gonna have to turn that system off. And probably going to take a few minutes to be able to, once it faults like that, it'll usually, the air conditioner itself will usually take a little while. So we're going to keep an eye on this and see if we get a fault up here or not in a few minutes. So we had these two batteries connected, and right now we're just running this one battery connected right here to see if we can start that up. I'm not thinking we can, because we needed two batteries over there to start up our 3.5 ton and 4 ton. Now, that mini split up there that is on this one right here, that's no problem. Where's my, here's, so we can turn this on up here, and that fires up right off the bat, because it slowly ramps up on the watts being used. The compressor just slowly ramps up. So if we look over here on our load, you can see that those watts are just slowly amping up. So it doesn't get a big surge. So this one battery, server rack battery, could run that with enough solar panel all day long, and you could just run it that way. You buy, if you just wanted to run it during the day, you could buy one of these, and you could actually probably just, well, you need 230 volts for that one, so you'd need something in parallel. So far we have not started up on that. And we will, you can see over here on that mini split, we're up to 1.15 kilowatts. And we're pulling in 26 amps, 1.42 kilowatts on the what we're bringing in, and then we're using 1.16, but we're drawing nothing out of our battery, so we're using our solar completely to run that mini split. So you can do that on that. So this is still working on it over here. We can go outside and take a look outside at the, because it's probably up on the thermostat, it's probably saying wait. If we look on, yeah, so you can see there's usually a little snowflake right there if it were to be on. So nothing yet. We'll go take a look outside on the air conditioner and see if that thing will start up real quick. Go on here and so right now with one of those server rack batteries, we're trying to start this one with just our solar. I mean, with our solar on, but with just one battery, with those two EG4 3000 watts in parallel. So it's probably going to take a couple of minutes to do that. And I'll show you on the thermostat that it's probably saying cool on, but it's flashing, meaning that it has to take in, even out the refrigerant in the compressor in the air conditioner. So if we look up here on the thermostat, yeah, you can see right here that the cool on right there in the middle of the screen is flashing. So as soon as it stops flashing, then it will try to turn on. But it can take a few minutes for that to happen. So we'll go back out in the garage and we'll wait for that to try and kick that air conditioner on. So there's still nothing there. And unfortunately, that's what happens when you try to start up the air conditioner and then try and run a test again. It'll take a few minutes. But we're going to be, while I'm waiting on that, we're going to be taking these 3 batteries plus this one over here. We're going to put these all in parallel over here, and we're going to have them connected to that and try and run that 3.5 ton overnight on just those 4 batteries. So we're going to have a Life Power 4, a EG4 LL, and then this is a off-brand from Signature Solars, but it's the same one. It's a version 1, and these are the version 2s of the EG4 LLs, but this was a version 1, and this is from a different seller that I bought that from. So far we're still not getting anything, and waiting to see if this is going to be able to start up with just one battery. The difference is on this you can surge up to 50 amps and 50 amps on that inrush, so it might be able to do it because it's pulling in enough solar. So if we look on here, battery's fully charged, and we're really not bringing in any solar right now because the battery's fully charged. So we'll go back and put that on. There we go. On the battery right there to see if when it goes to try and start up, if what, oh, it looks like it kicked on. It's saying it kicked on, but there's nothing on up here for what's being used. And there's nothing over there, so it must have done something. Let's go see if it, see if the air conditioner is actually running out in the back. I don't think it is. No, I don't hear it running. So even though that snowflake's on there, it's probably just running the fan upstairs, but it wasn't able to start that air conditioner with just that one battery. And that's what I thought would happen. It just wouldn't have enough to start that up. So we're going to turn this off and go back and make sure, okay, it's off. And we're going to have to shut everything down, turn our solar off. Oh, wait a minute. We had a problem here. We did not have our inverters turned on. I don't believe the inverters were turned on there. So let's try that test again and see. Okay, yeah, now the inverters are on because we're actually using something here from these that are refrigerator freezers that are plugged in. So let's go back and try and do that. That was my fault, my bad. So let's go, okay, we have it. So let's see if we can get this to actually start up with one EG4 LL battery connected on there. So we have this connected to the bus bar, but along with the bus bar, we have this bus bar connected over to this bus bar right here. So we connected it that way, and then from that bus bar, we connected with those Anderson 125 or 175 amp quick disconnects. So I'm going to keep an eye on this and see this time if that snowflake comes down right underneath the 75, then it should actually run. If not, it'll fault and we won't be able to do it. It's going to be interesting to see if we can actually start it up with just one battery. Can't believe I forgot to turn the inverters on. So that's why we didn't get a fault or anything. It basically just turned the fan on upstairs, which is on a separate circuit. So, and I actually don't have my fan, my DC fan up on the A coil in the attic on solar. It uses such little, even when I'm running that thing 24 hours a day, it really doesn't add that much to my electric bill. In the wintertime when I'm not running anything, I'm only running like 17, 18 kilowatt hours on my grid usage. And then when I'm using the air conditioner and the wife's doing all kinds of other things, it's still only like 21, 24. So it's probably maybe using 1 or 2 kilowatts a day by not doing that. But that's going to be a real pain in the butt if I would have got up there and wired that like that. So we're still waiting on to see if that'll start up. Let's take this, go outside, and see if we can hear that air conditioner start up. So far, nothing. And oh, we got the puppy in this video again. There we go. There's Roxy. Say hi. All right. So we're waiting for this 3.5 ton to see if it'll start up. And then in another video, we're going to try and start this 4-ton up and run that off of that. We should be able to do that. It's only about 400 to 500 more watts that we're actually using on this one. This will use around 22 to 2400 watts when it's running, and this will be about 26 to 2900 watts. So it's a 4-ton and a 3.5-ton. So it shouldn't have any problem. We got the same soft start on this and that pool heat pump, which is a 12.7 ton, 3.5 ton, 4-ton, 12.7 ton. That's a little pool heater. That's only like 18,000 BTUs, something like that on that. It's not a, it's like equivalent to this. As far as how many amps and watts it uses, it's pretty close to these mini splits for the air conditioners. Still waiting on that. Well, we'll be able to hear it if it tries to kick on. Oops. There we go. So that actually started up, and it looks like it started up with one battery. I can't believe that. So that's actually doing better than the Grow Watt did, being able to start that air conditioner with just one battery instead of two like the Grow Watt. So that is huge. Let's go see what our usage is. We're running that thing. There we go. 1.35 kilowatts. And not pulling any amps out of there. So, oops. So we got 1.15 kilowatts here. Let's see what we're pulling in on our kilowatts. Come on. There it is. We're bringing in 1.22, 185 volts, DC volts from our solar array. So 1.22 kilowatts over here we're bringing in. And over here, we are bringing in 1.4, whoops, wait a minute. Yep, bringing in 1.4 kilowatts. So 1.2 and 1.4, that's 2.6. And our actual usage, we're below. So 1.3 kilowatts on our load here, and so that's 2.6 that we have coming in, and it's on 2.15 that we're actually using, but we are actually running that. We started up and we're running it with just one of these with solar connected. We have our solar connected, so I'm really surprised. This battery, just one of them, was able to start that up. But once again, you have 50 amps on this and 50 amps on this for the inrush when that air conditioner goes to start up. Let's take and check our meter or our temperature gun and see exactly what we have coming out of the vents. So we have 57 degrees coming out of our vent up here. And that was hot, yeah, 57. And we have 70 coming in to our return air. Nice. So we are 69 on our return air now. And it is 55 degrees. So the air conditioner's on. It's running with just one battery. So you can actually start that 3.5 ton up with just one of those server rack batteries. And if you have enough solar to run that all day, you could run that on just one server rack battery, but you're still going to need those two EG4 3000 watt off-grid inverters in order to give it 230 volts, because these are only 120 volts on each one of them. They're incapable of giving you split phase with just one unit. So you got the 120 coming in on this leg right here, 120 volts coming on this leg right here. So I can't believe it, but we actually, and we're not using anything out of our battery because our battery state of charge here is staying completely solid. So now you know, you can actually run your 3.5 ton during the day. You wouldn't have the battery bank overnight to be able to run that thing, but you can actually start it up and run it during the day and save over 50% on your electric bill for air conditioning usage. So that is pretty huge. Now it's a lot to take and rewire, disconnect my 4-ton and wire that up. So that's going to be a couple of weeks before I do something like that, because the 4-ton is wired into this breaker box. I got to check down here. I might have it coming in to a AC disconnect underneath here, and I might be able to just take and run the wire from there up into the 3.5 ton right here, run it into that 30 amp breaker, because it doesn't matter. That's what's on the my grid is the 30 amp for the 3.5 ton and the 4-ton. So pretty nice. Now you know, you could get away with being able to start up. If you have a smaller house that's like 1,600 square feet that uses a 3.5 ton air conditioner, whole house, you could actually use 2 of these EG4s and one of those batteries and run that in split phase. You'd have to put in a box here for a breaker in that, but you know, and then, you know, if you did that, you don't necessarily have to put these in. I put those in because I do the videos in the garage and I want to be able to have power. And I also run my fridge and freezers off of these overnight. So these will take 15 amps on each one and 15 amps on those. So, but that is pretty phenomenal. It is actually running that 3.5 ton with just one battery for the inrush. And we're sitting at 1.45 kilowatts over here that we're bringing in, and 1.24 kilowatts, and our usage is actually 1.15, so we're 0.10 over on our 1.25 versus 1.15, and then we're 1.45 over here, and on our usage we're 1.35. So it's hanging over 0.10. We're bringing in 0.10 of a kilowatt hour over what we need, because once again, our battery state of charge is at 100%. So we don't need to charge our battery because we're running this completely off of solar right now. Now, I don't believe that you can disconnect your battery and run this with just solar. I'm not going to do it. I really don't want to try that. But I don't think these are designed to run batteryless. They're designed to run with a battery. Besides, as soon as you have a cloud come by and you surpass your amount coming in, you're going to shut down and fault these. So I really wouldn't want to run that without. Now there are the inverters out there that are supposedly batteryless. As long as you have enough wattage coming in to handle that, you could run it. But that's a totally different story. So anyways, the viewers wanted to know, could you start up a 3.5 ton with just one battery? And yes, you can. Pretty nice. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you have any questions or comments, please send those to me, and I pretty much answer really quickly within minutes or hours. We are an affiliate with Signature Solar, so each time that you purchase something through the links that we put in the descriptions of the videos, you will, when you buy something through that link, we get a small commission on that. And that helps us to be able to buy this equipment and to be able to test it and let you know what it can and can't do. So we appreciate it, and we really could use it in order to buy new stuff. We don't get that many referrals through that. So we would appreciate that. Anyways, see you in the next video. Hope you have a truly wonderful and extremely blessed 2024.